Welcome back to A to Z here on Locked On Sports Atlanta, final segment of this inaugural edition of A to Z on Locked On Sports. Again, follow me on Twitter at Mark Zinno. You can get Locked On Sports Atlanta free wherever you get your podcasts, also free on YouTube. Make sure you search for Locked On Sports Atlanta wherever you get your podcast. I appreciate you guys checking the show out. Again, it's the same A to Z that you guys know and love. It's always the same program with me. I think you know exactly what you get here on A to Z and exactly what you get with me as a radio host. And so I'm glad that you guys are continuing to tune in and certainly be part of this whole venture. We're doing this 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Every day I'll be with you guys. So whatever is happening in Atlanta sports, I'll be right here. We're going to have a ton of fun. I can't wait to interact with you guys. So hit me up on social media, on Twitter at Mark Zinno, MarkZinno, even on Instagram. I'll start putting the stuff out there as well. Same handle at Mark Zinno on Instagram. Give me a follow there. It's mostly pictures of like my kids and stupid stuff that I find funny and even some political stuff there, but only because I laugh at all that political stuff anyway. But nonetheless, give me a follow on all the social media accounts and interact, man. I can't wait to hear from you guys. We're going to start to bring some guests onto the show as well going forward. Try to make this thing as part of your regular daily routine Monday through Friday. So you're going to see a lot of names and faces that you know right here on A to Z because all of my friends here in Atlanta sports media are going to make a visit by this show at some point in time here in the future. But I wanted to spend this week and next week. Oh, by the way, next week I'll be on vacation in Florida at my parents' house. I'll be doing this show from there. That's how dedicated I am to A to Z on Locked On Sports Atlanta. So you'll see a little bit of a different background for me. Might even, bust out the Suns Out, Guns Out sleeveless shirt because I think that is very important. I heard John Skipper. You guys know who John Skipper is. If you don't, he used to run ESPN. Now he runs Meadowlark Media, which is Dan Le Batard's whole outfit and everything. I was at a radio conference back in March, and Skipper had said out loud that nobody does sleeveless radio better than Pat McAfee. Of course, Pat McAfee is a huge star now, but I personally objected to that. I do sleeveless radio better than Pat McAfee, and I'm here to prove that. So a slight shovel of wisdom to John Skipper for that, and we're going to prove that the best sleeveless radio is done by me, Mark Zinno, right here on Locked On Sports Atlanta. Speaking of shovels of wisdom, it's a big part of my show. We will do that always. And today, my shovel will be passed out to none other than Brian Kemp. Yes, Governor Brian Kemp. Now, why does Governor Brian Kemp get my shovel of wisdom today? Well, look, I'm not going to get political, but I am a big supporter of Governor Kemp. I'll tell you right now, he'll have my vote. It's got nothing to do with anything other than what I believe he's done a very good job. Aside from all that, I'm not even going to get political on this. But this kind of flew under the radar screen. And this came out earlier this week that the Georgia legislative session has now put a referendum through the Georgia House that it could end up on the ballot that voters could decide in November if they want to allow sports betting, horse racing, and casino gambling under a proposed constitutional amendment. It is passed in the House. It now needs to go back to the state Senate. And in the House, it was the Economic and Development Tourism Committee on Monday that voted in favor of the amendment, an amended version of the Senate resolution, which passed last legislative session, but didn't get through the House. So here we go, round and round once again. You guys know I've long been an advocate for sports betting and sports gambling right here in Georgia. I believe the state is way behind the curve. I believe they're losing out on money. I believe there's nothing but an economic windfall ahead. And yet we go back and forth on this. And why Governor Kemp gets a shovel? Because as the governor, with a completely Republican House and Republican Senate, both state House and state Senate, and a Republican governor, if he wanted this, it would be pushed through already. What's bothersome to me is that now that he's up for re-election, both in a primary and in a general election that he has to win, yeah, you know what? This can be bought. This can be bought, and I don't like it. I wanted you to pass this thing on its merit because it deserves to be passed on its merit. And even though there is a little bit of a swell for this, the legislative session is about to close here within the coming days, and there's no guarantee it's going to pass in the Senate with a 2/3 majority. So earlier this year, the Senate rejected a proposal and a constitutional amendment that would have permitted only horse racing, but here we are again. And even though there's backing of professional sports teams in Atlanta, the Falcons, Atlanta United, the Hawks are all part of this, desire to have legalized sports gambling here in Georgia. We're still not getting it simply because the leader of our state, Governor Brian Kemp, doesn't want this. Openly, he's always stood by the phrase that, well, I'm not going to stop it from happening. So, If the voters want it, I won't stop it. Yeah, but not endorsing it either. That's the equivalent of me saying that, I'm not going to stop my 11-year-old from driving a car. I'm just going to make sure he never gets the keys. That's exactly the equivalent of what this is. No, I'm not. If by some weird chance my 11-year-old ever gets the keys to my car, I'm not going to stop him driving. But guess what? My 11-year-old's never getting the keys. That's exactly what Brian Kemp is doing and saying when it comes to legalizing sports gambling in Georgia. It's time. It's here. It's necessary. It's needed. There's no reason not to. We have it legalized in 30 states already. It's going to eventually be legalized in all 50 states. Trust me, every state will get off their keister and do it. I mean, freaking Kansas has now allowed legalized sports betting. Georgia's losing to Kansas. Like, that's pathetic. We have a better football team, better baseball team, better basketball. I don't know if we have a better basketball team. No, we don't have a better basketball team than Kansas. But anyway, you get my point. So, Governor Brian Kemp, man, you need to get behind this. Huge fan, huge supporter. Not going to get political here on why. You don't have to agree with me on it. But when it comes to sports gambling, I 100% lay it at the feet of Brian Kemp, because he's the guy that absolutely should have passed this thing a long time ago. All right. Speaking of sports betting, if you can find a way to do this online, which is not illegal, there are a couple of games tonight in the NBA I want you guys to take a look at. Again, Hawks and Brooklyn Nets tomorrow on Saturday. Going to be a huge, huge game for them. But 3 games I got my eyes on tonight. Pelicans at Lakers. Lakers -1.5. I'm going to back the Lakers here. Although the Pelicans won 2 meetings this season, Lakers are sort of a must-win right now. They're in the same situation as the Hawks trying to get into this play-in tournament. Well, the Hawks will lock theirs up, but you get the point. They're both in the play-in tournament. They're back at the old Staples Center. I forget what it's called now. Anyway, doesn't matter. Nonetheless, Anthony Davis back in the lineup. LeBron James. 4 days ago, when the Lakers lost to New Orleans, they led by as many as 23. This should be a better outing for the Lakers. Playoff lives at stake. It's a short enough number. I'll back the Los Angeles Lakers tonight. Suns at Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies are without Ja Morant. They'll be without him for the rest of the regular season here. Strangely, both of these teams come into this game on 6-game winning streaks at least. The Grizzlies have won 6 in a row. The Suns have won 9 in a row. All 6 of those wins for the Grizzlies without Ja Morant. 19-2 straight up without Ja Morant in the lineup. Not their only injury for tonight, though. Desmond Bane, Steven Adams, Jaren Jackson Jr., Tyus Jones, all doubtful. Neither team has anything to play for at this point, but the Suns are healthier. And this is a spot here where I'll back the Suns -7.5. I'd also take the under in this game. You're going to get a higher number because both of these teams are the second and third highest scoring teams in the NBA. Even though there are people out, the number's still a little bit inflated. Probably take the under in this game. And then finally, Timberwolves and Nuggets tonight. Timberwolves +3.5. Minnesota desperately wants out of that 7 seed, wants to try to climb back into that 6 spot. Nuggets are 5th in the Western Conference. Minnesota's lost 4 or 5. They desperately need a win and need some wins and help to get out of the 7 seed. They have the better offense. I expect it to be a high-tempo, high-scoring game. I'll probably even add a T-Wolves money line sprinkle on this as well because you're getting good value of where they are on the money line at +175. So T-Wolves +3.5. They're really good on the road too. Minnesota is. They've covered an immense number of games on the road this year. 10-5-1 over their last 16 games ATS, and certainly a good team offensively. So again, I really like Minnesota tonight. Nuggets are 14-23 against the spread at home this season. So again, picks are always going to be part of this show. Betting analysis always going to be part of this show. And I certainly appreciate you guys spending some time with me here on the inaugural version of A to Z right here on Locked On Sports Atlanta. I can't say it enough again. Thank you. Make sure you guys hit me up on social at Mark Zinno. Tell me what you like about the show. Tell me what you don't like about the show. I'm definitely looking to interact with all of you here coming up on A to Z now 5 days a week. Again, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, right here on Locked On Sports Atlanta, free on YouTube, wherever you get your podcast. Just search for Locked On Sports Atlanta. I'm Mark Zinno for A to Z. You guys have a great day. Don't take any crap from anybody. See you.